Yo, what's up, Austin? Wait, YouTube, yeah, sure. Yo, what's up? Yo, oh, I forgot to open the YouTube chat. Hello, hello. Hello, Leo. Hello, Ivan. Lost Jan. Who was Lost Jan? Who was? I remember. I think you have been last time in the YouTube chat, but I forgot who is Lost Jan. Finally got the chance to listen to the latest Animals as Leaders album. I just really have to check Animals as Leaders. Wow. Really can't say if I know them, to be honest. Maybe a song or something? I don't know. The Jaw of Motion album. I will definitely check that out. Sounds good. I mean, progressive metal band. The description says progressive metal band. Washington, D.C. I will have to check that out. Animals as Leaders. Let me check Spotify. Like a new album? Really? How new is it? Because it's not on Spotify. That's wild. Instrumental metal music or in other words, gent? Okay, never heard about that, to be honest. Progressive metal. I will check that out. Animals as Leaders. Gent, at least. Never heard. To be honest, never heard about that. But maybe I'm not that into metal, like in this kind of direction. I mean, I know a lot of bands, but I'm not. I don't know everything, to be honest. Notes from 23. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, yeah, I will check that out. Recently I've listened a lot to how was the name of the band? Give me a sec. Very very popular. They really like uh, went. Yeah, they've been played like millions of times on TikTok and stuff like this. I mean, I've heard about that because I'm not consuming TikTok and Instagram that much anymore. But what I can really recommend, that was one of the albums I really enjoyed so much, was from Fox Lake. That was amazing. Like, it's called how's the how's the name of the album? Is it Fox Lake as well? Give me a sec. Nee, New World Heat, amazing album. Really like it. That one. That one gave me really this new metalish feeling, and I've grew up, with new metal, so System of a Down, Slipknot, Linkin Park, Core, and whatever. That was my that was my youth, honestly. So I had these two sides. So I've listened to a lot to hip hop music, but I also listened a lot to metal music, because I think that was this kind of crossover thing. Like there was Limp Bizkit and stuff as well. And also, I mean, Linkin Park did that as well. So this crossover-ish music, and yeah, I grew up with like metal music and hip hop music, and yeah, Fox Lake is very this kind of power metal I've really missed in the newer releases. Yeah, in this area of metal or music, like metal music. So Fox Lake, New World Heat was the name of the album. Very very nice. But how was the name of the band? I've listened a lot to Magnolia Park as well. That is also kind of a newer band from the US, I think. Also nice. They did this album with the cover, which is looking like a animated, like anime vampire, whatever. Also nice. I forgot the name. Was it Swallow? I don't know. Shallow Swallow. I am not sure. Magnolia Park. It was. I'm not in chat right now. I'm checking here. Vamp was the name of the album. Yeah, Vamp. They're on German. They're on tour, I think, in Germany as well. But I'm not. I don't have the time to go on concerts right currently. But I forgot the name. Very popular with like Spotify. Open Spotify content. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Oh, what I also really enjoyed was this yeah, track from with I've what was the name? I'm so bad with names, honestly. There was this line that was amazing, that touched me so hard. It was this: I've spent my life chasing things that have only brought me pain. In the end, hope it was for something, or hope when I'm dead, it was worth. Hope it was worth for something. That's really like gets me really so crazy. I really like that. I forgot how was that? It wasn't Fox Lake. I'm not like signed into my Spotify right now. What was the name? So the Knocked Loose, yeah, that was one of the bands I've meant. That was this You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. Also very nice album, really, really nice. But how was the name? Killer Koza, also really nice. I have to my favorites. So I knocked loose. The plot in you. Yeah, Forgotten was the track title. Yeah, very, very lovely track. I really feel that. Yeah, a lot of things. I think the one of the albums I've really listened the most to in the last year was also by Youngblood. I was so surprised by this album, Idols. It was very nice. It was really, really nice. And I really listened like thousands of times to this album because, yeah, I don't know. I'm really a big fan of the music. And somehow, I don't know. I can really relate with a lot of things in the album. So it's very nice also. So if you haven't checked it out, Idols by Youngblood is also very nice. But yeah, we are not here for. Thanks, Ivan, for this small, yeah, hint to to let me talk about metal music. I'm a big fan. Like I said, I could talk about music in general, really like for a very long time about everything. So I've really consumed so much music in my life and still consuming so much music and really everything. Like I really also love this Bad Bunny album, for example. I've listened to it a lot, and but also yeah, for example, this I've listened a lot to. I don't know if you know them. That was one of the albums I've listened to a lot last year. Was last year or 24? I think it was 25 or 24. The album came out in 24. Ezra Collective, very nice. It's not metal, it's jazz. It's kind of, let's say, I don't know if you know Fela Kuti. What is, let's say, kind of African jazz, I would say. I'm not sure if that is a genre, but it's kind of very it has its jazzy elements, but it's still very groovy and very, very energetic. And I really like this kind of jazz music. And yeah, Ezra Collective goes into this direction. And this album from 24, I think something with Dance Like Nobody's Watching or something like this was the album title. That was also very nice. Absolute recommendation. If you like that kind of music, I can only really give you that as a recommendation. Check it out. It's very amazing, lovely, very, very lovely album. Yeah, and a lot of other things. I've listened a lot to All the Bridge recently again. An album I've listened to as a young, growing man. One Day Remains. That's also very nice album. It's this album cover. I don't know if you know that. Ever seen it? It's also very great. Yeah. It's interesting, right? Like it doesn't matter how long. Yeah. How open-minded you are and everything. I mean, I'm very open-minded. I love to consume new music. I'm not like this Afro funk. Yeah, that's pretty on point. Yeah, I would say Afro funk is very on point. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Somehow I've since 2 years. That was crazy. It started with this Bring Me the Horizon album. From 24. Um, I've also forgot. There was this title, Lost, was on this album. That was one of the. Yeah, that was fun story. I have never tattoos, but that was the first thing I've tattooed myself on, and it's on my right, yeah, on my right leg. The track title Lost, because it really, yeah, I've listened to this track so often, and yeah, every time I've really was like, okay, fuck, that's really like it makes something, when you're listening to the lyrics, and yeah, you can somehow relate with it. That's crazy. So that was my first tattoo with Lost. because I really lost. I've really felt lost so crazy in my life on certain points, and I'm still sometimes feeling very lost. But yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, we're here today because we wanted to do the feedback loop from Monday. So welcome to everybody who's joining for the first time. We are not doing this when on a regular base on Wednesdays. We're doing this on a regular base on Mondays. That's the feedback loop. Former feedback Friday, but feedback Friday turned into the feedback loop, and it's now happening every Monday between 7 and 9 CT. And yeah, the rules are the same. So joining the list, and I will listen to a track, 10 minutes. So everybody's getting 10 minutes. I will listen to a track, and you will get feedback from me and the chat as well. As I'm working with 2 platforms, so I'm working with Instagram and YouTube, and hopefully one day with only one, because I really don't like Instagram as a live stream platform, because it's really shit. But yeah, hopefully someday just only YouTube. But yeah, so I'm streaming on 2 platforms, so I have to read out sometimes the comments from YouTube for the people on Instagram and other way around. Yeah. Hello back to everyone who already joined one of the sessions. I mean, I see a lot of familiar names, especially on YouTube. Hello, Biarreda, for example. Yeah. And I would say, yeah, we have not. I mean, I'm doing that also till 9, so we have like 1 hour. We have 5 tracks. I think that's so far a good one. So for everybody who wants to join, the link is up. And is it up? I hope so. Or did I have just posted on my story? I'm really like full. I was really busy this week, to be honest. I haven't really thought that it's going to be that crazy busy, because it was Eastern weekend, and I know that a lot of people are not working over Easter, but I don't know, somehow it was still a lot of things to do, and a lot of people have been working on even on Easter days, and that's crazy. Especially me as well, and I really forgot to upload the link, honestly, but that's not a problem. We can do that now. I mean, it's always the same link. It's just changing. I'm just changing the title of the link. So yeah. So everybody who wants to join, feel free. Put your list into the Put your track into the list, and you just have to go on to the link in bio, and in my link tree you will find the link to the feedback loop number 13 on top of my link tree. And yeah, over this link you can join the session and get a feedback. I nearly forgot that the feedback loop is today. Honestly, I was, like I said, I was really busy, and I'm so honestly, I'm very happy that I'm not using Instagram that much anymore. So nearly, like yeah, I'm not using Instagram on a daily basis anymore. I would say if you check my screen time, it's something like over the week is something like, I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes, you know? And the thing is, why it's 2 hours and 50 minutes is because I'm online every Monday for 2 hours, and that are the 2 hours on this 2 hour 50 minutes. And the rest is just like going online, checking if somebody's writing me something over Instagram, and that's it, you know? Because I really want to spend the time for important things than social media. So that was one of the reasons I really kind of yeah, I'm not doing any like crazy advertising and marketing anymore, and sharing stories and stuff like this. That's also one of the reasons why the algorithm and my outreach is not the best. What is not, I don't think it's really not the really baddest thing. But yeah, uh, yeah. I just want to spend the time with things which are more important than social media, because I think social media is just really a very toxic platform, or a toxic area. And yeah, I would like to do more on YouTube, which is not better, honestly, but yeah, I want to do more this coaching stuff and everything else. Um, yeah, I forgot. I think you're good. I was sitting in the cafe when it struck me. Hey, wait, isn't today the feedback thing going? And what a surprise it was finding myself with you on a compilation that is due soon, and some other great names. Ah, yeah, I think you mean yeah, I know which one you mean. I'm not sure if I am because as I understand it, it's like more compilations. It's not just one. There are several. Like, it's not like going to be like one big compilation. It's going to be like four compilations, something like this. I'm not very sure, to be honest, because yeah, I haven't seen us probably in a private group, since you don't spend time in it. Yeah, okay. I really didn't check it. I'm communicating only via email with David. I think it's David. I think, right? Like, because yeah, Instagram. I've said to David, okay, I'm not using Instagram. The best way to communicate is really email, or here's my number and write me in it. Like, write me in WhatsApp. It's definitely quicker. You will definitely get a quicker response. Um, I guess so. Maybe three parts. Yeah, I've already told him that really it's going to be a tough with the deadline. So yeah, I really have to check it out, because I don't. The thing is, I'm not the biggest perfectionist anymore with my own music. So I'm not really like overthinking everything too crazy, but I also don't want to like send something to David which is not good enough, like, which is, I don't I really want to give something special, or like 100% to this compilation, because I think it's a very important topic as well. And yeah, I don't want to just, I mean, it doesn't matter, not only because it's an important thing, but in general, I don't want to yeah, I don't want to give like tracks away which are not on one, let's say not 100%, but where everybody's happy, and what is a quality yeah, product is the wrong word, but that you have like a quality track in the end, and not something like which happened in only 2 hours, and I have to like send out a track because there's the deadline coming. In the end, it's a really creative process, right? He really loves So I'm Good with the Dead. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I have so many tracks laying around, but I'm not very sure because yeah, a lot of tracks which are already kind of signed. So yeah, I don't want to send, of course, this out logically. Um, but also a few tracks which are done are on hold by other labels. They already asked me, but I'm not 100% sure if I want to bring them out on that label because there's already something planned, and I don't want to bring out too much music on one label. Of course, if it's the third room, that's something else because I mean I'm one of the core members of the third room, so that makes sense. And yeah, I'm I'm working for the third room and everything. So yeah, that makes totally sense. So that's something that's a different topic, but in the end, I don't want to bring out too much music on the same labels. I want to, yeah, I want to yeah to spread it a bit, So like not releasing two EPs on one label in a year, for example. So I don't know if you have like one EP in this year and one EP in the next year, that's okay. So that would be fine. But yeah. So 5 names on the list. I mean, it's Wednesday, so it's not usual. So it's not the usual time for feedback loop, but doesn't matter. I mean, we have good names on the list. Most of you, we listened to River last week. That was the first time. I think it was this kind of. Was it this kind of? No, wait. That was Keanu with the broken beat electro EBM ish track, right? River was kind of more groovy. Wait, was there was one somebody in the YouTube chat was Lost Gen. Maybe is I think River is Lost Gen, right? I think so. Um, so yeah, we have a few interesting names. Where's Introsphere? That was Felix, I think, right? Like, haven't seen him yet. Yup. So Lost Gen. Okay, River is Lost Gen. Good. Welcome back. I was not sure, honestly. Welcome back, River. Yeah, I would say let's not waste too much time. I mean, we have 8 o'clock, and so we have 1 hour from now straight. We talked or I talked again too much about other stuff. I really have to. I've said that in the Discord channel that I want to do a few spontaneous streams, but only in the Discord channel about like people asking me about about the music industry. I mean, right now I'm working in this industry for a very long time since I'm 20, and I'm now getting 34 this year, so 14 years straight, and I've kind of grew up in this scene, and I've done everything. Like I was a promoter, I'm a DJ, I'm still doing promotion, so yeah, but promoter, I was like DJ, or I'm a DJ, producer, mastering, mixdown, engineer. uh, I'm working for the third room doing all the advancing also the artist handling and logistics sides and production things, and I'm working for an agency and doing all the so doing now also agency work, and how that's very interesting. Like that's a very interesting view into the scene, because I thought I always know everything, but it's still, you always learn new things from like a different perspective, and that's kind of now the things what's happening with the agency. It's very interesting. So I have a very big experience in this whole topic, and if I can give something back, that is great, because I really see that a lot of young people and or let's say newer artists which are coming into the scene and trying to establish themselves, they're really struggling with a lot of things. And it's really not that complicating. It's really not that complicated, honestly. It's just a really long way, and you really have to be ready for it, and you have to and you have to want it. You have to want to get like artists, and you have to set yourself a goal and really work straight to this goal. And it's easy kind of because you have, in the end, you just have to be yourself and work, and just do your thing. It's not that complicated, but there are of course more insight than just this. But like I said, I would love to see more people on Discord channel in the future, and that we could do more this kind of spontaneous live streams in the Discord channel. And you always, of course, you can always write me on the Discord channel, tag me and whatever, asking me things. I will always try to respond to it as soon as possible. So 8 o'clock. On point, 8 o'clock. So we are starting now with Ivan. Ivan, where are you? Are you ready for 10 minutes listening to your track and getting a feedback? Yoo-hoo. Okay, let's go. 10 minutes from now. Ready, that's good. I would say we will do that last week. It was good. So we will do it like this. If somebody's not responding, I will start a timer with maybe something like 1 minute or 30 seconds, somehow, something like this. And if the person is not responding in 30 seconds, we will go to the next one. I mean, the person can, like, I won't, like, I won't delete the track from the list, I will just switch the position so we can still listen to the track. But I really love, so for everybody, I really love to have a conversation with the people in the chat. So it is a rule to be or to take part on the live stream, especially, I mean, you don't have to be here all the time, but if you contribute a track, it would be great if you are here when it's your turn. So if you're not there and you're not taking part on the live stream, I won't listen to the track and I won't give feedback. Everybody's getting 10 minutes like Ivan now, and we will listen to the tracks and we will give feedback into these 10 seconds. Everybody's welcome to give feedback in this 10 minutes, so feel free, use the chat and let me know what you think. Or let's say let the person or the producer know what you think about their tracks. Had to step away from heating up food. No worries, we just started. Side signals very loud, right? Compared to the stop chord. So this pad is bit too loud, I think. Or not, I think it's too loud. I would say that the volumes are a bit out of balance, so I would adjust the volumes of the signals. Like for example, this pad, which is really mainly happening in the sides, is, for me personally, is a bit too loud. Low mids are warmer, the track could be more balanced. Yeah, side signal is intense. I think it's harsh in the high mids. The track is lacking in warmth of the lows and low mids. If the low mids are warmer, the track could be more balanced. Yes, agree with the warmth is lacking a bit. True that, yeah. Even gentle limiting via glue compression on the pad by 2 to minus 5 dB would help. Still missing a proper bottom on this one. Yeah, like the pressure is missing somehow, you know? It's a very like dry groove kick, like sub kick combination. I like that kind of, but I think there's this pressure missing, especially in this very short sub and this kind of short kick, you know? Really like boom, 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 boom. So somehow this body is missing. But still, I like the groove, you know? I also like the idea of the track in general. Also the chord sound, very dryish, but still... Yeah, I like the sounds, definitely. So the idea of the track is very nice. But I also think that there's... Like the side signal is very loud, so you definitely have to check the sides. Even like check the correlation. So if you put it, I've said that, like check the side signals, and you have this correlation meter. It's like there's from -1 to +1, and if it's going into this direction of more into the direction. So in an idle case, like it should be really on the +1 side, not on the -1. Everything what is going to the -1 directions. So that means that the relation between the sides and the mids are not good, you know. So the side signals are louder, for example, than the mid signals, and that's like unbalancing the correlation, and so the meter is going more into the -1 direction. So that what's happening. So if I put on the like if I turn on the track, or I'm listening to the track in mono, the track falls apart. Like everything is missing in the track. Um, but also, I mean, if you play this track in a club, you know, and you have very loud side signal, yeah, it's too much, you know. So it's too loud. The side signal, and certain frequencies are not coming through, and that's you want to avoid that. Hello, Felix. Love the idea, but maybe lacked something in the story, like one more hooky element. Yeah, I think what you should do is, or what in my point of view, the lead sound, it's this kind of chord sound, this is like really in the back of the track, but I would definitely position it that more up front, you know, but because it's kind of the lead sound in the track, because it's going from the beginning to the end. Let work, like play a bit more with the sound. Definitely position it more, like put it much more into into the front of the mix, and let the rest go a bit back, you know. And then you have all these sounds which are really like interesting, and making the track still a good idea, but yeah, there's some, so you have to do something on the track for sure, and balance the mix more. So I would definitely start with the what I would definitely do is I would start with the volumes, checking the correlation, maybe go another round with the lead sound, with the scored sound, maybe like record another track, with playing a bit more with the auto, like with the parameters, and yeah, see what's happening. Just regarding this correlation test, are we talking about the master output, so the complete track, or the individual channel of the example? Yeah, so you're really like putting the analyzer on the end of the, so of course like the correlation between everything, not only with the but I to be honest, I've never put it onto one track, honestly. Maybe that's also helpful. I can't say it honestly. uh should do the same in the end. But of course, you want to have like you want to keep the correlation of the end product, of course. Yeah, you want to know the correlation of the master output, of course. I personally think another element would crowd this track, just rebalancing of the elements and make could open space and tighten others, making it feel more interesting at times. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's yeah, okay. I just really have to think about what you mean by crowd this track, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing I was saying, like balancing. I think so. I think you have enough information in this track. It's really like just play with the things you have. Gotta go now. Unfortunately, still at work for a meeting now. Oh, bro, like it's it's yeah. Okay. Good luck at the meeting. 8 o'clock. Damn shit. For who are you working like crazy? We'll do that ASAP. Thanks for the advice. Yeah. Thank you for contributing again, Ivan. Okay, so Ivan has to go to work or has a meeting now. So let's head to the next track. Thank you very much, Ivan, again for your track. And we are now, we are now going to Rivert. Riverts, where are you? Really sorry. Hope you all have a good session. Hey, mate, I'm very sorry, like for you that you have a meeting at 20. I really don't do any meetings. I mean, I'm self. Like, yeah, I'm working like wait, like self. How is it called? Fucking shit. Like freelancer. Holy, like I'm working like as a freelancer, and I'm not working at 20 o'clock. I mean, I'm now doing live stream. What you could say, it's still slaving away from Mercedes. Man, that's not a good goal. Fuck that shit. Fuck on Mercedes. Fuck on any like material stuff. It's just about love and energy and peace. And that's sounding very spiritual, but I mean it like I said it. It's really more about love and everything. Time's the most valuable thing you have in your life. Bro works for Batman. Ivan is Robin. Holy shit. I'm here, River. Yeah, hello. So, yeah, now Ivan, you work for Batman, calling the nightly meeting. Yeah, Gotham is calling. The Riddler or something is really like doing his job right now. Okay. Let's go to the next track. River, 10 minutes, my friend. Let's go. Instagram is very slow today. Like, people are coming in on Instagram, but nothing is happening. That's what I mean. Like, when the algorithm is like broken, it's don't have a chance. Thanks for listening. Yo, no worries. That's why we are here. So definitely low end is very heavy compressed again, and very low and heavy. So I don't know. I have a feeling the kick is a bit too long and boomy, takes up so much space. Yeah. I'm not sure. Is it just a kick with a long decay, or is there something else happening? Because the low end is very like, yeah, maybe the kick is too long. Yeah, it sounds very boomy. So definitely have to like take out the lower frequencies with low cut, for example. But low cutting everything is also not the best option, but definitely like turning down the volume of the lower frequencies, everything underneath 30 hertz, maybe even like higher, depends on the kick. I don't know. I would need to listen to the kick in the project. There's a reverb on the lower frequency on mono. and a sine bass. It's very heavy. That makes the track a bit muddy, you know? That's the thing. So the low end is very muddy. That the thing is, you don't hear the, like, you know, you don't hear the transient of the kick. So this attack, like tak tak tak, it's more like the kick is trying to break through this like low end mud, but it doesn't have the chance, you know, to come through. So it sounds very like boomy-ish, but it should be more like punching, you know. Mids are not coming through. Yeah, that's always the thing. So if you really have a very heavy low end, it's really like making the track, like bringing the track out of balance. So everything else, you try to compensate, you know, everything like in the mids and in the highs, because the low end is so heavy. I mean, there are happening interesting things in the tracks, you know, in the track. So I also can hear this saw synthesizer, which is coming in very subtle, but they're like this, you know. There's not this energy, because the energy of the low end is that heavy that the rest, it doesn't have the space to work. So low end, like, definitely work on the low end, try to clean it up a bit. So I don't know if it's the best. So there's the low end is a very small frequency spectrum in general. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful how many informations you put into this very limited frequency spectrum. So we are talking like really the low end, let's say from 0 to somewhere around, like 100 to people are saying 200, you know. And in this, and really keep it in mind, you have like 22 kilohertz. So the frequency spectrum is going to 22 kilohertz, you know. So in this small range in the low end, you really have to be careful how much information you're putting in. So if you put in like a sine bass, the kick is happening as well, and it's one of the most important elements in our music. Still has to be balanced pretty well, you know, but it's very important. If you put a sine bass and like a reverb which is working in the low end, you know, even if it's in mono, you're really like having too much shit happening into this very small range, and this makes things very muddy. You can do that, but it has to be balanced, you know. So you really have to, so you can't give all the elements the same like spot into this range. You definitely have to put down something, so volume wise, to turn something down, so therefore it's going more into the back of the mix. The question is why are you using these things? So why are you using like a reverb or whatever to add like another information? So, you know, maybe it's working with only two information, with the kick and the sub, so, or the sine bass or whatever. I mean, if you're using a bass line, sine bass for the, let's say, I mean, sine is very deep, but if you use it like for mid-range sounds, I mean, you also have to work with an equalizer and lowering down the low end informations to have enough space for the real low end, you know. So yeah, definitely I would. I mean, you can try it, try to rebalance it, but keep in mind, you always have to hear kind of the punch of the kick, because it's kind of this element, or it's the element which is giving structure to the track, which is kind of this repetitive, element which is like going through the whole track, and it's important. So you definitely have to hear the kick properly. You can have a very deep kick, I mean, for example, 808s, they're really boomy-ish in a way, but there's a difference between like this kind of, let's say, uh, body body heavy kick, uh, and a boomy kick. Boomy kicks are very like um trying to get better every day. Yeah, that's the spirit. Always keep going every day. So with every track, you will get better. As so, the main rule. So one of the rules is always be open for new things, even if you are already on a high level. I've heard that yesterday, by like an entrepreneur from the US, who said like that we, as soon as we get, more professional, and I've read that also in the Rick Rubin book, about creativity. Um, it's always good, even if you are a professional, and I'm really forcing myself to this. Um, Even if you are a professional and you have like experience and everything, keep the channels open and be open for new things and new techniques, and always. So I've met a lot of people who are who are in the industry for a long time, and it's really hard to tell them something, because they're very hard-headed, and they have a very like very strong opinion about things, because of the experience, and of course also because of the success they have, but it's very hard to tell them new things, like, I don't know, we could do it like this. It's like a tip, for example. But yeah, um, they're not open for new things, and that's the biggest mistake you could do. So always keep the channels open for new things, because nobody's perfect, and things are changing, and things are evolving, and music theory is such a big pool of knowledge, or like of knowledge, and a big pool of information, and you can't know everything. Like, that's impossible. Your brain doesn't have the capacity to know everything, so it's always good to know that, and to keep that in mind. Nobody's perfect, and there's always like a new way to see the track. Like Rick Rubin told it, he wrote it like, this childish naivety. How is it the correct wording? Like, be naive like a kid, and that's something I'm forcing myself every time. That's also the reason, I've already explained this, why I'm starting every project with an empty project. No templates, no. I I have templates, but I'm not using them anymore, and I'm really feeling much freer, and I'm learning much more with this kind of production. But everybody is doing, like, no, everybody's different, and you know, for some people this is working better than this. The learning and practice never ends. Definitely not. It would be very arrogant to think like this, because I also did that many times. But maybe that alone would help. Why? Okay, I have to. I'm just guessing. Ah, okay. Instagram went down. Uh, honestly, I really have to be honest. I don't go back online on Instagram. We will. I mean, we have everybody here on YouTube, right? Because I really, I can't see it anymore. To be honest, it's always the same with Instagram. I'm really close to delete this app on my phone. Okay, let me check. Just guessing, but in general, I feel like there's a compression with super short attack times on the kick. Maybe try something with a bigger attack time so the kick transient punch is not. What you also can try is side chaining, but not like side chaining, like you do it to have this side chain effect on like on baselines, like this creating this gap for the kick, I mean, really side chain. So using the side chain option of the compressor and uh, where's the compression starting, go like there's like for example the SSL compressor you can I think you can turn between 180 240 hertz, and that's also like a possibility to check so that the the kick is only being compressed in a frequency spectrum from 200 or 180 or 240, depends on how you set up the side chain. That would be also an option. Yeah, of course, always working with the attack times. So no big attack times, not like really short attack times. I don't know where I'm using like 0.1 milliseconds. Really, maybe at high end sounds, for example, like hi hats and stuff, but I always go with higher tech times. Bye bye Instagram. So doesn't matter. We will just keep here at YouTube today. What do you think about that? I can't see it anymore. It's really just it's really yeah it's really yeah. It's not happening that much on Instagram. Let's say it like this. I will make a story real quick. I mean, we just have 1.5 hour. Doesn't matter. Okay. Ribot, I hope you. I mean, there's a lot of feedback in the chat, and I've also said a bit about the track. So low end is definitely something you really have to focus on right now. So check out the signals and try to rebalance it, or take something away, and definitely check out the low end, the kick and everything. It's a bit too heavy. Getting destroyed. Maybe that alone would help to make the low end sound less boomish, because I also did that many times, that I would use very low attack times on the kick to have a louder track in the end, but I would not recommend that anymore because it fucks up low end. Yeah. The learning. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah, all good. All good. We're doing our feedback loop today on Wednesday instead of Monday, but yeah, here we are. Okay. Felix, are you there? Thank you very much, River, for your track. I hope the feedback helped out, or is going to help out you a bit. Yeah, Felix, where are you? Are you there? Did you fall asleep? Maybe because of all this talking today. I'm here, kind of very calm and very yeah. chilled stream today. I'm here. Perfect. Let's start 10 minutes from now. Shakers are sounding so wide. Is that just my feeling? Sounding like they're really panned heavy to the right and the left. I mean, there's still information in the midst, but shake is very wide. Okay, thought so. Ooh, very nice chord progression. Yeah, I like the idea of the track. I very like that. Yeah, the melody could be louder, yeah. In general, the track could sound a bit warmer. But I mean, that's something could be added on the mastering. Antigone vibes in the beginnings of 2013 and stuff. Yeah, that was very Antigone. Yeah, but the track in general sounds... So the idea is nice. I like all the sounds. I think the track just sounds too dull. So there's this warmth missing, definitely. Maybe if you rebalance the mid-range and like increase the volume of the mids a bit more. But you of course have to check how it affects the rest of the frequency spectrum. I like the idea of the track. So in general, the track's nice. It's really like the mid range is not like it's too quiet. So the track sounds kind of dolly. So definitely there is, you need to make the track a bit warmer. Maybe adding like a saturation or something would definitely help out in the mid range. Something like this. Maybe also saturation in the low end, because I don't know. It sounds very cold, cold, right? So and dull. I always have this feeling that the track is played underwater, So that's why I'm always saying like underwaterish. You just really have to bring the track out to the sun, so make it warmer. Even if it's this kind of, let's say, hypnotic interstellar techno, this hypnotic techno, deep techno, but still, you can make the track still warm. You mean around 100 kilohertz or so? Like they're too quiet. I like the mid range in general. Like this chord progression is kind of too low, So low volume, you definitely have to increase the volume there, or to compress it, or I don't know. Like I mean, I can't see your project, So there are a few peaks which are like coming, which you can hear properly in the mix, but the rest is very quiet. So I think you also have to check the dynamic of the chord progression. If it's too heavy, the dynamic, because these sounds with these peaks are really like triggering the limiter very hard, and that's not the perfect state for the mastering. Doesn't need much mastering. Stage might make it shine, maybe, but still the mid range. There's really the mid range really needs to be fixed before mastering. Yeah. Yeah, check it out. I mean, it's always hard to, it's always a guess if you don't see the project. So I really can only guess things, but yeah. That's the feeling I have now with the track. So, thank you very much. I think we said everything, right? Felix will try out compression. And we will go now to Austin. Wow, I haven't heard a track from you for a while now, right? Have we listened to you last week? I think no, right? Or have we listened to your track? I think it was something else than usual. It was a dub track, right? It was this kind of not fall to the floor track. It was more this. It was a very I think something like 100 BPM dub techno track. Was it like this? I think so. No, I haven't in 3 to 4 weeks. Why I have this in? Why do I have the feeling I've listened to this kind of? Okay, so it was the dub track, but it's still. Wow, it was. It's 3 weeks ago. I have the feeling it was last week. It's crazy. Okay. I'm curious. I think we will listen to all the tracks today. Looks like this. Not a big list today. But I mean, it's Wednesday, it's not Monday. Also fine to have an empty list at the end of the feedback loop. But his closed head sounds so lost in the mix. Hello, Ivan. Welcome back. There's a very slow tension build up, like a very slow progression, but I somehow like it. Which head do you mean? Please. I like the sounds very much. Yeah, it's very stripped. It's very stripped down, this track, you know? But still, that's the thing what I mean, like, because it doesn't have to be that much happening in a track, and you don't need like thousands of several tracks or sounds, you know? It's less is more. Just work with the sounds you have, and that's more than enough. reminds me of the Rene Weiss set at Stone Techno from 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. 23 should be. Yeah, I like the atmosphere of the track very much. I really like also the progression. Sorry, this head is really kind of lost. But I can't even say what. Like, I have the feeling that the tune is not correct. I wouldn't like tune it down that low, but that's personal taste maybe. I like the track. I'm not sure about the low end. Maybe the low end is only so the low end sounds a bit like not too heavy. It's kind of just a bit too heavy. So maybe just put like a shelf EQ on the 30 hertz, so somewhere around 30 hertz, and really like lower down it maybe for like 1-2 dB. That would be the only thing. Maybe it's missing the right room to sit in. The head. Good point, Felix. Do you mean the head? Yeah, could be, honestly, because it's not like it's not like yeah, it could be definitely. I think. I really like the trippy vibe. Track is nice. I liked it. So there's not much. So the progression is nice. The sounds are nice. Somebody wrote that it's a bit too wide. I don't have the feeling, honestly. I think it sounds pretty nice as it is. Creates a very nice space on the dance floor. Only the sub, yeah. So maybe the sub a bit, and this head. That's the only thing I would go on, or I would check. I don't have to read it out because we are all on YouTube. I'm not on Instagram anymore, so that's good. Everybody's reading the chat. Please give this track the Villa Lobos treatment. You need 30 minutes. Yeah. It's nice. I like it. I wouldn't do it for 30 minutes, but yeah, it's nice. It's lovely. Thanks. That's a very interesting track. So, already the last one, but we have only 10 minutes left, so perfect. That's perfect. So let's listen to Birita Star. Thank you very much, Austin, for your track. I've enjoyed the track. I hope the chat and my feedback was helpful or is helpful. I mean, Felix, Birita, and Austin, like vibe-wise, would definitely fit on one EP. I think also Ivan has sometimes these kind of hypnotic moments. Be a good fit on an EP. The low end just has to sound a bit tighter here. So it's still... Yeah, it has to be tighter, so definitely like taking out a bit of the lows, but and make the low end a bit warmer, but the rest sounds fine so far. I have so much problem with the low end on this track. But all the other sounds are really like having a nice space, and they're like coming through and everything. That's very nice. I like that. So they're present. I see a VA coming, boys. You never know. I have already said it. I want to do a label with all these live sessions. That wasn't a joke. Yeah, it is balanced. Only the low end could be a bit warmer. That's the only thing. Because right now it's more like, but it could, you know, it could sound tighter. Would make the track like really on point. Yeah, the synth is amazing. The progression of the track is very nice. Yeah, that's very nice. Break is really lovely. It's not too much, you know, it's not really like, but yeah. The low end feels decent. Yeah, the only thing I have a problem with, it feels a bit too swammy, or like it's swinging too much. Maybe it also could work to make it a bit less dynamic, the low end, or the sub. Yeah, that's a really lovely track. I really can't say much more about the track. It's good. It's good. I think I've said everything about the track. So the idea is finished. It's like a finished track, only, like I said, the low end. Yeah, less dynamics, but I would definitely go down with the volume then. So check the RMS, you know, with right how you have it right now, you know, and take out the dynamics of the sub a bit more, and then go back to the RMS, you know. So it's going to automatically get louder, go down again, but the volume to have kind of the same RMS level, and I think you should be good, because right now it's a bit too, so it's too groovy, so it's pumping too much out of sometimes it's pumping out over the kick, that's the thing. I mean, it's still, everything is hearable, and everything is kind of in its position, but still, I think that would definitely really round up the track, and you would have a finished product. Can give it away to the mastering. Okay, thank you very much. It is empty. I would keep it empty. We have. It's kind of on point. We have 9 o'clock. So we came. We listened to all the tracks. That's lovely. It doesn't have to be that busy every time. I love it to have a small round as well. I mean, we have still a good chat, a very active chat, and that's the only thing which matters. Thank you for joining on this Wednesday instead of Monday. Still very lovely to chat with you, to listen to your music, of course. And next week, hopefully, or what means hopefully, like next week at Monday again. Yeah, Monday is very empty so far. So next week, Monday, for the 14th session on the 13th of April. 7 CT, somewhere around there, until 9 CT. Thank you very much. I have to keep it short because I really have to go around the corner. I've drank too much water. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for joining the session again. And I wish you all a wonderful rest of the week. Hopefully you have a good one, and be kind to each other. Stay positive, stay lovely. I send a lot of positive energy to you and a lot of love to you. And thank you very much for joining again. Hopefully see you next week. Bye.